Welcome back to the Birdhouse Dynasty Trade Show and some fun today. Lots of action this week, plenty of quarterback injuries, and that makes for a very exciting trade market. As always, we've got Matt English in here to help dissect these deals. How we doing today, Matt?
Man, doing all right. Doing all right. You know, this is my favorite part of fantasy at this point of the season, right? It's just trades. I love trades, man.
Yes, sir. I hate setting lineups, but I love trading, for sure.
Yes.
Setting lineups is like the ultimate kiss of death. Like, you know, when you make that last minute switch,
Yes.
90% of the time it comes back to bite you.
Yes.
But then
Yes,
that
Matt.
one time that it works out for you, you get to tell everybody.
Well, I'm going to take that opportunity right now. In week 2.
Who did you ask? You asked me. Who did you switch? You got one right.
Yeah. You, and I'm going to give you credit for this because I totally follow. I just needed someone to push me off the cliff. Or just like give me the nut. Just go. Right? So it was 11:59 and 30 seconds passed, and I changed out Ricky Pearsall for Ted McMillan, and
You took out your boy, Ricky
I took out my boy
Pearsall.
for Ted because I had a weird feeling about it, and Carolina had a plus matchup for Ted, so it was an easy decision once I got pushed a little. So, and it
Yes,
worked out
just that
fantastic.
little
Ted
nudge.
put up, I think, an even 21 in that league. Pearsall had like 9 and change. But what's great about that is that switch made that lineup 100% efficient for the week. So all of my high scorers were in the lineup.
Nothing better than that.
Perfect. I'll
Perfect
never do it
lineup.
for the rest of the season, but I got it once. You know.
And you too could have a perfect lineup. Just go to buymeacoffee.com/Birdhouse Dynasty Show. You can ask me all of your start to sit decisions if you want. Can't guarantee I'll get them right, like I did with Matt here, but you know, I'll try my damnedest for sure for you.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into some of these deals, and we're gonna right off the rip, we're gonna fire it up with a Joe Burrow deal for you. This one is, oh my God, where did it go? There we go. All right. I gotta close this up.
Man, that's a lot of deals.
Where did that deal? There it is. All
Bring
right.
that bad girl
So
up.
this one, right out of the Taco Court League, we fire away with a, dare I say, taco deal. All right. We've got Spencer Russ dealing away Joe Burrow and his own 27 first for Kyler Murray, Travis Etienne, and $90 in fab. Matt,
Well,
walk us through this.
I'm really glad he got the $90 in fab thrown in to cover that first round. So
Yeah,
this man
seems a little steep
look,
for a 27 first.
I get it. You feel like a contender. You started out hot. Now you lost Burrow for at least 3 months. Probably not using him for the rest of the year. That being said, there's no way you should be throwing a first rounder on top of Joe Burrow to go get Kyler Murray and Travis Etienne. Burrow covers both of them just fine.
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
Here's the thing. This is a dynasty league, and yes, where you're competing this year, Joe Burrow value is going to dip some, and then it's just going to hold because he's not playing. It has nowhere to go. It just holds. And then as he starts to ramp up coming back, if he comes back, let's just say the off season, and he is healed and healthy, and people start talking about what are they going to do with the offensive line, his value is going to start to creep up a little bit again. So in essence, you really just gave away a first. That's, man, look, come talk to me on some deals. Come talk to me.
I mean, I'll pay a tax on Joe Burrow if I'm getting a quarterback that I really love. I don't know if this is more of an indictment on Kyler Murray and his value, or just kind of learning how much you really need to pay of a tax. Because okay, how many quarterbacks down? So Joe Burrow was quarterback 5 prior to the injury, correct? He was right behind Jalen Hurts. You had the top 3 in Allen, Daniels, and Lamar, then Hurts, and then Burrow, right? And then after that, you've got the mix of Mahomes, Herbert, Bo Nix, Justin Herbert. I already said Herbert twice because, he's that
Bo Nix,
valuable now.
Baker
But
Mayfield, Brock Purdy, you start getting into a nice little cluster.
yeah, but right, quarterbacks 6 through 15 ish, right? You could throw them around however you want. Some of them have fallen a little because of performance so far, but others have risen. But the point being that Joe Burrow, for one of those guys right now, some of them you almost could do straight up, right? Like Joe Burrow for Bo Nix right now. If you're a contender, like, I don't hate doing that straight up. All right?
Especially if that Bo Nix is coming off a team who, after a couple of weeks, it's very clear to see, might be time to go ahead and hang it up. Either your team's older and you're moving, you're ready to rebuild. Making a deal like that certainly improves your chances because, one, you're taking points off of your roster to help improve your draft position, and you're bringing in a high value asset who's not killing your draft position. So that's the kind of deal. And actually, with knowledge of this league, the team receiving Joe Burrow in this deal is trying to get his positioning for the draft. He wants a bunch of young guys.
Correct.
And he's moving in that direction. And this is a great move for him. I sent him a DM after I saw this deal. I was like, you smoked that trade, dude. Quite literally got a free first out of the deal, or it only cost him 90 fat, right? So, it's a good deal for Bin Laden here as he goes into that rebuild. And actually, some of the moves he's made, I think it's more of a reload or a retool. Only a turnaround type deal with this landing for him. Yeah.
Sure. Well, it is a best by 12 best ball. There's a few IDPs as well, but the IDPs are, it's hard to evaluate the IDPs. We'll put it that way, because there's such a, if you look at a war chart, there's such a flat line of defensive players, and you only need to start 3 or 4 in that league, and if you roster 6 or 7 of them, you could hit variably week to week on the big sacks. The big plays get big points for the defenders, but the point being, you do not have to have like 3 stud defenders. You can get by doing it with 6 or 7. But anyway, back to the real offensive positions. We talked about Kyler here because I had initially offered Daniel Jones in a first to the Burrow owner, who was Spencer Russ at the time, and said, because I have about 5 starting quarterbacks, and so I had no problem, even though I think I can kind of contend this year, I had no problem just sitting on Burrow and letting him get the points from Daniel Jones, but bank the first, basically, on top of it for him, because I have 427 firsts right now as well. What I'm getting at, for one, is Daniel Jones pretty much better than Kyler Murray right now?
I mean, if you're looking at a points per game, yeah.
And even, I know Kyler's got the big contract.
Like half the price, so I can tell you that.
Right. I know Kyler's got that big contract, but I don't know how much. He probably has like 2 years left on it, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be in Arizona next year necessarily, right? If they could pull the cord, if they go 3-14, 4-13, something like that,
Mm-hmm.
even just not making the playoffs this year could get their coach fired and get them to want to move in a different direction, meaning Kyler gets shipped out. Now, I think Kyler would still start somewhere else for sure because there's so many quarterback needy teams, much like the Colts were in, right? Their position. They've been searching for a quarterback ever since Andrew Luck retired, right? They've tried every different kind of quarterback. They've tried Carson Wentz. They've tried now Anthony Richardson and a few clowns in between. But the point being, now they have a guy who only 2 starts in looks like the second coming. Like he looks really good. I'll put it that way. I don't expect it for 17 weeks, but Daniel Jones. I mean, it's hard to argue how many guys you'd start ahead of him.
I mean, look, maybe Steichen unlocked something. Maybe he's found like a system that just kind of keeps him within, right? It seems everything seems to just be pumping very fluidly for Jones right now.
Right.
You know,
well, he's never had the kind of weapons.
Go ahead.
He's never had the kind of weapons before that he has here in Indy, and we all know that Anthony Richardson just had. He just had struggle. He struggled with his accuracy, basically. And I don't want to go down the Anthony Richardson road. That's not really what we're here to talk about. But
no, that's not really.
Daniel Jones, like he's a great buy right now, and because you don't have to pay anything more than a first, right? And you can probably even get something thrown in on top of it, and we'll get into a deal that you literally just made within the last 10 minutes to exemplify that. But going down with Burrow, which quarterbacks would you be fine with doing just a straight up 1-for-1, right? We mentioned Bo Nix, Justin Herbert. Would you be fine with right now?
Man, that's tough. Okay, straight up, Baker Mayfield comes to mind. You know, he's going to be he's starting. He's got weapons, right? And he's got a couple of weapons that one of them should start to come back. I think he's been McMillan's been designated to return from IR. And then Godwin's still a few weeks out yet. But
Godwin, he just got declared out for this week. I expect him, I don't expect him back till October. I think that they put him questionable because he practices every week right now. But yeah, point being is Baker's going to have even more weapons here.
Yeah, he's got weapons in the cupboard as well as already on the field. So I think Baker's one that if you're in contention, right, that's someone you could target to unload Burrow. Straight up's tough, man, because I know if I was the Burrow owner, I know what's going to happen, right? So it's kind of
right. Now the perfect world, you were already
add pieces around and look for some other stuff from a team that is going through a rebuild. I would try to just pluck pieces. I don't know if it would be a straight 1-for-1 type opportunity.
Yeah. Well, it depends if it's lineup or best
total
ball.
Garbage, and they're definitely rebuilding. Jalen Hurts would make sense. They're right next to each other from a rank standpoint. Yeah, you might have to throw a little something extra with Burrow, but that's a good move.
Sure. It all depends if the team. Now I've gone through every team in my league that owns Burrow. Literally, I looked in every league that I'm in. I looked at Burrow and the situation because I went after Jake Browning in every free agency because
I got him
why
in
not?
one. I got him in one.
Yeah. I mean, I already owned him in the 4 leagues that I had Burrow. So
Right.
I already had Browning, except for one, which I was able to acquire him. I had to use all my fab, but I made sure I got him.
Yeah.
But the point being, like, just don't do this. This is just too much.
That's bad.
Because
I don't
yeah,
want to rip on Spencer
Kyler.
Russ, but like this is a bad deal. This is a really bad deal.
Yeah, this is. You got to shop around a little bit more. Don't just. I know that you're in panic mode if you're contending and Joe Burrow goes down. That's understandable,
Yeah.
but find
But
another
look,
route.
man,
Like he would have been.
I would have made this deal if he'd have come talk to me and say, I want Trevor Lawrence and I don't know, Alvin Kamara for Joe Burrow in a first. But you got to throw in 90 fab too. Be like, yeah, maybe I want to rebuild. You know, that's
like I know that he got Travis Etienne in this deal too, but I mean, just go get Jake Browning for a second, right?
ETN, in my opinion, is a sell high candidate too. So I mean,
Oh, absolutely. And we'll get to Jake Browning here right up next. That is the next deal. Jake Browning. Let me bring it up, and this is one where I didn't even lose Burrow.
ooh,
It
here's a
wasn't
good deal
mine.
for you. I mentioned Jalen Hurts, right, as a comparable thing. If you get rid of Burrow, what if you did? If you have a stack, right, you can just trade stack for stack. AJ Brown's older, so if someone's got Hurts and AJ Brown, maybe you can sell them Burrow and Higgins.
For sure.
That's not that far off if you put it into a calculator. I gotta imagine it's close.
No, I can't even. I guess I didn't upload it, but I traded 2/3 for Jake Browning. So Jake Browning is now my 4th quarterback.
He's not bad for 2/3. That's a great deal. That was in Birdhouse 4, right?
Yes, it was.
That's
Correct.
our team. Yeah,
Yes.
totally.
Birdhouse
worth it.
4. Because the point, and that's why I asked you before we did the deal, but what are you getting with 3rd rounders, right? You're getting like a 33% chance, if that they're going to hit. 20% maybe, right? I'd say it's more like 20%. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just go back over the last few years' drafts. You only see 2 or 3 guys hit out of that 3rd round. This
Yeah.
year, who do we have?
Yeah.
Alec Iomanner so far looks like he might hit, and maybe Ollie Gordon. And that's about it right now. I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. Shedeur Sanders has a
barring some
possibility.
sort of shake up in a roster or an injury or something. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Although I don't know if he went in the 3rd round of rookie drafts, but like Dylan Gabriel threw a touchdown this week.
Oh, yeah. No, I
You better
said
watch
Dylan
out.
Gabriel or
3
Shedeur Sanders. Yes, either of them could hit. Absolutely.
Could, but haven't to this point. But I know exactly what you're saying. I mean, you're really throwing a dart throw there, and if you get lucky, maybe you grab something. But most of the time,
Right. Because
you're getting
if
something
you look
that
at it from the
best
other
is a
side,
developmental project.
what the other side means is that 8 or 9 guys out of that 3rd round don't hit, and they literally
Right.
don't even get into your starting lineup once. Jake Browning here is going to get into my starting lineup because it's a best ball league, right?
Mhm.
I would not have done this deal in a lineup league unless I was down to 1 quarterback. But
Right.
in a best ball format, he's going to be starting at least the next 12 weeks, right? He's probably going to sneak into my lineup at least 4 or 5 times. So
I mean,
just
look,
because
dude,
of
if
the
I'm
offense.
Joe Burrow, I don't take the field for the rest of this year, and I don't even want to get on the field until you guys rebuild the offensive line. Like, dude, do you realize this is going to be 3 out of what, 6 years that he is going to miss? 3 years because of injury. And they still don't have an offensive line. I wouldn't get back on the field with Cincinnati unless they redid the offensive line.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can move on from the Burrow Browning talk, but
Yes.
I wouldn't expect to see him on the field this year.
But we can stay with the quarterback position and talk
Sure.
about a guy that is healthy and playing healthy on the field and eating, and that's Daniel Jones, who you just acquired from Hergot in our Crash and Smash League here for Daniel Jones and J.K. Dobbins for a 28 first. Now,
Right.
I do see this from Hergot's side. He's trying to cash out on Daniel Jones' performance so far, and I don't hate this. Like, if he's trying to get points off his roster, this is absolutely one way to do it. I don't know if I love the 28 first, but it's hard to buy 27 firsts in any league just about right now, just because of the class hype, right? So
Right.
if he would have asked you for your 27 first, I doubt you would have just willingly said, "Oh, sure." You would have thought about it.
No.
Exactly. See, you would have said
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So the 28 first though, and we have no idea what that class is going to look like. That class could be even
3
better
years
than
away,
27. Could be worse,
be.
but it's 3 years away. So I don't know that I love it from Hergot's side, but I get what he was trying to do. He was just trying to
He's
cash out now.
They could turn around and sell that first for something down, next year, 2 years from now, and may never ever use it outside
Right.
of trading it off, right? So,
And knowing Hergot, that's his plan for sure. And yes, that 28 first is going to carry more weight than 2 seconds and 2/3 would. Because Daniel Jones, if he didn't get this, he could have squeezed 26 seconds out of you for Daniel Jones and 2/3 for J.K. Dobbins, right? But it's hard unless you're doing it on draft day to squeeze 2 seconds and 2/3 into a first.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you could do it during the draft in certain leagues. You could pull it off, but not every league.
That's true. And this is, from my perspective, I have Jaden Daniels and Lamar Jackson. My third quarterback in this league is Joe Milton. So
Yeah,
I kind of looked at, and Daniels is not playing. That's already been confirmed today. So I absolutely needed to get a quarterback, but I desperately needed a third one as well. This is a league I'm trying to win. I don't want to say that this is a league I'm contending in. This is a league that I expect to win, right? So I want to make sure I have all the pieces in place, and this was an opportunity for me to get what I envision as a quality starter quarterback for the rest of the trip down the season. I'm going to need somebody for bye weeks. Be nice to have him available. And then also, the running back room on my team is probably the worst positional group I have on the roster. So this gives me a little extra juice there as well. So it was kind of it worked out that he had the pieces that I was kind of looking for to begin with. And
yeah,
I'm fine with a 28 first.
yeah. And I like it. I know you're contending. I do like it. I don't love J.K. Dobbins long term, but for the short term, for the next 3 to 5 weeks, absolutely. If he gets into your,
that's all I'm looking for.
yeah, if Dobbins gets into your lineup 3 times, it's worth it from my end, the way I look at it. So, because Daniel Jones for the 28 first is pretty fair, to be honest. So, that's where I'm at least.
Sure.
Okay, real quick, Adrian's on here, and he's got a start-sit question for us, okay?
All right.
We've got start 2. He doesn't give format or anything, so we're just going to assume PPR. I guess it doesn't matter. They're all wide receivers. So, okay. Ladd, Downs.
Wait, what am I doing here? Am I picking 2, 1?
We're picking 2.
Two. Okay.
Ladd, Josh Downs, Juwan Jennings, Troy Franklin, or Devontae Smith. So he's got five guys to decide between.
Um,
I'll give you two of you again. Ladd, Josh
Yeah.
Downs, Juwan Jennings, Troy Franklin, and Devonta Smith. I'm just going to say roll with Ladd and Devonta Smith. That's my
Yeah,
take.
the only other one that I'd pick out of there is Juwan Jennings, just because of his target share with Mac Jones, his performance last week on the road with Mac Jones. That's about the only one I would put in there, maybe over Devonta Smith, just because Philly hadn't been throwing the ball. But really, with all this focus on the tush push this week, and everybody's saying, oh, they're clearly lining up off sides, maybe they do sling it more. I mean, they are
Oh, yeah, you got it.
favorable to do so as well. But yeah, I probably wouldn't overthink this. Just play the names you got. Play Ladd and Devonta Smith. You paid a high price for him for this reason. So.
Yeah, I
Devonta
understand
Smith
where
didn't
you're
put up this
going.
week. He's going to the Pine.
I think that Juwan Jennings very well could have a solid week, but you don't. You drafted Devonta Smith. When you drafted Devonta Smith, did you really think that he was going to be a consistent week-to-week performer in your lineup? If you did, you don't know Devonta Smith at all.
Yeah.
You draft Devonta Smith, you have to have him in your lineup every week because he's going to go 2 weeks out of the. See, the point is this just happened to be for weeks 1 and 2. If Devonta Smith's performance over the last 2 games happened in weeks 7 and 8, people wouldn't be panicking like they are, right? Because Devonta Smith does this all the time. He goes 2 weeks in a row with doing nothing, and then he'll blow up one game, and then the next week will be a middling game. You have to have him in your lineup is the point to capture his big games. And next week when he goes 4 for 125 and a long touchdown, and Juwan Jennings goes 5 for 65, and you miss out on 10 points, don't blame us. All right, Adrian, keep Devonta in your lineup.
That being said, the only shares I have of him are in best ball. For that reason.
Now, I did just trade for Devonta Smith in 2 leagues this week, so I'm a little biased.
It's a great buy right now. He's so cheap, and eventually he's going to get to his 14, 15 point per game average. It's going to happen. That's what he does.
Exactly. I mean, what do you think? These Eagles receivers are going to finish the year with 300 yards receiving and 1 touchdown? Yeah. I mean, come on. They're both 1,000-yard guys. And it just, the law of averages, it plays out. I mean, they're running the ball and running the ball and running the ball. Eventually, the defenses are going to give them that opening where they hit them one-on-one deep. It's just, it's pretty simple, basic football, really. It hasn't been there the first couple of games, so the Eagles haven't had to do it.
Yeah,
all right, and then he's got one other.
Can go back and forth like this however they please. So
yeah. It's okay, and Adrian's got one other start sit. It's at running back here, and this one's tougher. Okay, this one, especially since you just made this deal. This one is Omarion Hampton, Cam Scatterbu, or J.K. Dobbins. Start one.
Omarion Hampton, Scatterbu, and Dobbins.
Let me give you the matchups quick.
Yeah, tell me the matchups real quick. I don't know off the top of my head.
Right, I don't know either. So that does definitely play into this. So the Chargers are playing. Chargers are at home to the Broncos. So there's your Hampton and Dobbins matchup, and then the Giants take on their Sunday night against the Chiefs. Woo!
Shit, that's I don't like tasty. Either one of these. I don't like any of them.
Well, this is probably his RB2 spot, so it's understandable.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm
gonna go Hampton. I'm gonna go Hampton just because I want to have it when he busts out.
It's the matchup that looks the best. Yeah, it's just the matchup that looks the best. And actually, part of me wanted to just say Dobbins, but the Chargers' run defense has been pretty solid this year. I think Dobbins is going to get tons of touches, but I couldn't start him over Hampton this week. No, not when they're playing each other. I'd take Hampton.
Yeah, I mean the Chargers' run defense has been. Let me go back 2 weeks. So, week one.
The Scatterboo part, he's kind of touchdown dependent right now because he doesn't offer the pass catching upside. So you got to be looking for matchups where New York's going to be in that red zone quite a bit for him to start capitalizing on where he's going to get a lot of. Not that he couldn't bust a big run, but based on what I've seen so far, he looks touchdown. He's a touchdown dependent type back right now, so I wouldn't play him until I've seen more. But
yeah. So week one, the Chiefs got 41 yards from their running backs. All right, against the Chargers.
Yep.
Week two, I took out Mahomes 57 yards because that's week two. The Chargers stuffed. I don't even have to look. They stuffed Ash and Genty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 43 yards from Genty. So, yeah, I don't like playing Dobbins. Scatterboo is interesting to me. He's sort of actually kind of taken over from Tyron Tracy. But, again, you pointed out the receiving work there is not going to be there because that is still Tracy is going to get that. But I think Scatterboo's kind of taken over the first and second down role there. He's kind of sneaky. I don't know that he's a buy necessarily because everybody who drafted him picked him in the second round. And what are you going to give up a second rounder? Who's gonna take a second rounder for somebody that they literally just drafted him in the second round for, right? So unless you're willing to pay more than a second for Scatterboo, which I don't think I advise. Scatterboo's not really a buy or a sell at this moment. He's kind of just doing what he was expected to kind of do, right?
Right.
And I don't know that he has more of a ceiling. It's just the Giants' offense has to show more, and that could happen, right? I mean, they actually looked pretty good last week, albeit against the Cowboys, but there's promise there. And when Jackson Dart eventually takes over, who knows, right?
Week four.
Week four and week five. Week five, they play the Saints.
Yeah, week four.
That's week 4 at halftime.
I got a feeling the Chiefs are going to have a get-right game at New York's expense, and everything is going to get loud to put in Dart. They might hold it till week 5, you're right, because the Saints would be a good one to go up against to start your first game. But it's coming. It's coming. I'm glad Russell had the game he had, but Dart's coming. All right, next trade. What we got?
Okay, let's get to the next trade. All right, because we have plenty of them. Okay, this was my Devonta Smith one. So this brings up both guys going in different directions here, right? So I won Jake Browning in the waiver wire run. I got him for $76 in this one, 76 out of 100. And I flipped him to Foss Boss, who had Joe Burrow. He's 3-1 on the year. He's contending, definitely. And I have Jalen Hurts. I also have Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, and A.J. Brown.
Yeah, but
so I literally
best ball, dude.
It's best ball at its finest. It's best ball at its finest. I literally changed my team name to the quintuple Philly cheese stack. And so now I have it all. And I'm just banking on those games that we talked about. Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown as well. Both see as huge buys right now because, again, those guys are both going to be 1,000-yard receivers by the end of the years. Maybe Devonta Smith a little less, but you know what I'm getting at. He's an awesome best ball guy. He's going to get into the lineup 4 or 5 times with those 20-plus point games, and A.J. Brown will settle in, and I'm not worried about him. We'll just put it that way.
I think this is a great deal for best ball on your side. This is, I mean, you paid a 27-second and a rental that you picked up off waivers. So $75 in fab and a 27-second for someone who demands a first-round pick. That's a good deal, man.
So what do you think of this from Fossboss's angle, though? Devonta Smith was his 5th or 6th wide receiver. Okay.
Time's going to tell. I don't know his other quarterbacks, but this will plug a gap. I don't know if I would have looked to pair. I don't know if I would have let go of Devonta Smith for a rental. Maybe I would have gone after someone like Daniel Jones, or I don't see a lot of future with Browning. No one came calling for him when he filled in for Burrow 2 years ago. I just don't see. He's a good backup, but that's all he is. And you probably could have traded Devonta Smith to get yourself a more longer term or a better plan long term with a quarterback. That's all.
So his quarterback situation is Tua, Tyrod Taylor, and Jake Browning. No, he has Justin Fields. So he picked up Tyrod Taylor. He was hurt, and he did.
Quarterbacks
he did win this league last year. To be fair to Fossboss, okay.
But he lost,
and he has Jamar Chase, he has Garrett Wilson, so he's keeping the stacks alive. But yeah, I mean, Devonta Smith, he's got JSN, Jamar Chase, Ladd McConkey, Garrett Wilson, all ahead of Devonta Smith. Wan'Dale Robinson last week was definitely ahead of him. So, like I said, Devonta Smith is probably his 5th best wide receiver that he had. But
maybe
Wan'Dale Robinson,
will be different from 2023, but Jamar Chase's numbers plummeted when Browning took over. Browning truly spreads the ball all over the place, and he's not hyper-focused on Chase. At least he wasn't in 23 in those 6-7 games that he played. So, I probably wouldn't have gone after Browning with that scenario. But hopefully, maybe something changes and it works out. I would have gone with a longer-term investment there. Just me. It's not horrific, but it probably could have been better too.
For sure. All right, next deal here. Jordan Mason for a 26-second. Havdi is rebuilding, but yet he went after and acquired Jordan Mason for what should be a late 26-second. Now, afterwards, he messaged me and said, hey, I know this looks weird, but I did it because I think I can flip Mason for more. So that gets into a little strategy theory when you're rebuilding, yet actively acquiring somebody to then flip them. Is this the case here with Jordan Mason? Like, can you really squeeze a first out of somebody for Jordan Mason? Or is he just going to... I mean, I could see maybe 2 seconds.
Depends on how long he wants to hold it, right? How long do you want those holding costs? Right.
Yeah, that's the problem with doing it, because he's going to score points for him.
He is. But if he has a big enough game in his first week as the starter with Aaron Jones out...
Yeah. 2 seconds.
Somebody's going to pay for a running back. Running backs are hard to get, man. They are. If you're starting 2 running backs in this league with multiple flexes, starting running backs are hard to come by. So, yeah, he could turn it around for a first because Jordan Mason's young enough. Aaron Jones is old enough and injury prone enough to where someone would be like, I could spend a first on Mason.
Yeah. I like the strategy. I like the strategy if he's willing.
Might have to hold him 1, 2, 3 weeks, but in the end, he could end up pulling a decent first out of it, or some young upside players that he wants for the deal that aren't scoring a lot of points this year, right? But that'll be up to him to decide. But I think he can absolutely get more for Mason with the situation that Mason's in. Yeah, I think he could.
Yeah, I like the strategy. It's worth the dart throw to try and get a little bit more than a second, as long as he's willing to do it like immediately. Like whoever offers something that offers a profit to him, just take it and run and walk
Right.
away. Yeah. All right. This one here, that was a waiver. Okay. Now we'll get to this one. This one's also in that same Turtle League. This one I did with Hergot. So, this one's Quinshad Judkins and a third for Marvin Harrison. Now, I'm rebuilding in this league, and Hergot is one of the main contenders. Yes. And Marvin Harrison, I'm in rebuild, but Marvin Harrison now slides in as probably my fourth or fifth wide receiver, wherever you want to put him up against Rashee Rice.
Rather have Rishi Rice.
Well, no, I have Rashee Rice.
No, I get it.
And now
Well, there you go. I have him behind Rishi Rice.
Yeah. So when
Because
Rashee Rice is
only
healthy,
out for another, if you count this week, 3 weeks.
correct. Yes, but I would be fine if he misses the whole season because I'm again rebuilding.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So here's a scenario where I was able to acquire Quinshon for a single second off of someone because they panicked on Judkins when all this off the field stuff happened, and so now I'm just trying to profit off of it. And essentially I just acquired Marvin Harrison for a second and a third.
Yeah. And you said he's your like fifth receiver?
Right. I'm not counting on him as my first or second guy. I have Lad
Gotcha.
McConkey, I have Roma Dunze, and I have one other guy that I think is better than Marv. So my receiving room is good there.
You should flip Marv if he has a game, man.
Right. That's what I can do. I definitely can try that. So.
Yep. Especially to the Kyler Murray owner. If they have a great game together, poof. Easy sell.
Oh, I already tried flipping it. That was to Mark. He owns Kyler. I tried 2 seconds for Marv, but he didn't take it. He said he wants to hang on to his first for now. So we'll see when Marv has a blow up game this week. We'll see what he thinks then.
Yeah. Then just offer. Then send him the offer again, but ask for more.
Exactly.
Just because it's Mark. I hope he's watching this too. Ask for more.
Oh, he will.
That
I'll make
guy.
sure he's watching. All right.
Yeah, he is a maniac.
So I got you to say that you liked a Marv trade. All right. Now over to Dynasty Land here. 12 by 9. So we're starting 9 only. 2 wide receivers and 2 flex. This one is this DFS, which is Kyle Barney with Anthony. Break yourself. He was able to squeeze a first and a third out of him for Olave and Rattler after doing this deal. So I'm talking back-to-back deals here where Anthony, I'm just loving what he pulled off.
Yeah.
Anthony went from being in the middle of a rebuild to now being a borderline contender this year. Now, granted, the losing Olave and Rattler, Olave is a borderline starter in a start 9 league.
Amazing.
But gaining Bo Nix and Ibuka for Tyler Warren, that helped his lineup for sure because he already had Brock Bowers. So drafted Warren.
In 27 first from the other deal.
Yeah.
So he actually replaced his total in firsts. Didn't really lose
Correct.
first, just moved him around. And he and he got rid of what? Warren and
Olave and Rattler.
And brought in Bo Nix, Ibuka, and replaced his first and gained a third.
Yes.
Tyler Warren.
So he went from Rattler up to Nix and from Olave up to Ibuka. Now,
and all he
Olave
had to
and
do-
Ibuka
and he got and
production.
a third, and he got rid of Warren.
And he got rid of Warren. But the first kind of cancel out. The 226s are earlier, but then one of them's a 27 and the other's a 28. So I love what he pulled off here.
I think it's great, man.
You know, the
I think it's great.
main gain here is going from Spencer Rattler to Bo Nix. Like, that is just...
And Olave to Ibuka, dude.
It is very nice.
It's a massive upgrade for both of those spots, man. Massive. I think the world of Ibuka, though. I really do. And Olave drives me crazy. Can't stay on the hit. He's literally one concussion away from a retirement community.
Right. He's literally right there with Tua Tagovailoa in the concussion.
He can't take a hit, man. I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. Good for Anthony getting rid of that offensive roster. That was awesome.
Yeah. So the strategy point here that we're talking is selling high. Okay. Anthony sold high on Warren and sold high on Spencer Rattler.
And
right?
Olave. Olave had a bunch of targets.
And Olave off of a good game, right? Yep. And he was, but here's where I hate what For the Brand did is he sold high on Bo Nix and Ibuka, but didn't really sell high, right?
Yeah.
Bo Nix and Ibuka are two of the hottest names to me in as far as the dynasty market for players goes. Like 27 firsts are obviously hot all the time. But as far as players go, like, you know, it's tough to deal hot players. Nobody wants to really give up their Emeka Egbuka right now. Nobody wants to give up their Bo Nix right now. Nobody wants to give up their Justin Herbert right now. Okay? Bo Nix alone should be worth the 226 firsts.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then Tyler Warren, like, I chatted with Brandon a little after the deal, and he's like, well, I might flip Warren, you know, I that's part of the reason that I did it. And I'm just like, but dude, you're in a rebuild, you gave up your 28 first. Like, that 28 first, you're in a long rebuild. Like, that could be the 101. And I don't even know who it's going to be yet, but that's a big thing. And it's only a 0.5 tight end premium. So yes, Warren has been getting a lot of catches, but 0.5 tight end premium is a big difference than 0.75 and full point.
Ibuka and a 28 first for Warren, dude. That's high, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really high.
I could understand Warren for Ibuka right now. Both are hot. Both fill a need. Warren for Ibuka, that's fair. I'm not going to argue one way or the other. That's just a personal preference.
Just hand it away for free.
But, yeah, he basically, to me, gave up that 28 first for free. Again, it's just people being too loose with their firsts is what frustrates me sometimes. Yeah. All right. Next up, we'll go back a little ways. That was just a couple days ago. There's my Devonta Smith for a first. That's on a contender. That's pretty fair. Either way, I don't think we need to talk about Devonta Smith anymore. Here's this is a redraft deal. Travis Hunter for Jerry Jeudy. That's two people just giving away problems. Right?
Well, I mean, at least one set of problems is prettier than the other.
Which one's prettier?
Prettier. But you know what? That could end up hurting him too, because he's going to want to put him in the lineup and put him in. Whereas Jeudy, you're like, I'm in no rush to put this dude in my lineup. Whereas if you put Hunter in right now, it could cost him a matchup or two. But
yes,
it's a prettier set of problems.
I just wanted to chat about that one for a second. Okay, here we go. Hergot was able to scoop up a second rounder for Keenan Allen. You like that? On the other side, how do you like that? Buying Keenan Allen for a 28 second? That's
I
not
don't like
too
buying
bad.
it. I like selling it for a second.
Yeah, this was like your last chance to get out on Keenan Allen. Now, Keenan Allen, I have mentioned in other shows, like him and Devontae Adams are both kind of in the Larry Fitzgerald mold. Keenan Allen's like a year older though. And he didn't have that great of a year last year, but Keenan Allen could definitely bounce back and have a better season this season. And that's what he's doing so far. It's just hard to imagine him keeping it up the whole year. Like he is a lot more injury prone than Devontae Adams. What do you think on
Yeah,
Keenan
that's
Allen?
what I was going to say. Adams looks like he can still play another 2-3 years. Keenan
Right.
Allen looks like he's rolling into the station on freaking fumes.
Yeah, like I'm giving up a third for Keenan Allen if I need a couple of
Yeah.
spot starts.
Comfortable
But I don't
with
know that
third,
I'm giving
not
up a second.
So good for her, guy.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got another Scattaboo deal. Scattaboo and a second for Chuba Hubbard. This is an interesting one. What
The
side
2
are you on
seconds
here?
For Chuba Hubbard, which most considered a top 20 back, is a good deal. I think it's probably pretty neutral. Depends on what you need. Both teams could have won from this deal. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
leaning the Scattaboo and a second, actually.
I didn't lean that way, but it's pretty darn close, man. I mean,
Well, I know
if
Chuba.
Hobby's in a rebuild or looking to just get some younger guys or get a little bit younger and add some draft capital, great win for him. I'd lean that way if that's his roster. You know, and if Creeple 3 is, you know, one running back away from like putting together a serious push, good for him. He's got a guy that's going to hit his lineup, you know. So, yeah, I'm assuming this is not a best ball league.
No, this is 12 by 10. And actually, this is the second here. The second that he used to buy Jordan Mason. So he literally got Scattaboo and Jordan Mason for Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, fantastic work.
Yeah, that
Hubbard.
makes it look much better. So
Yeah,
I really
now,
love
well,
it
see, when
from
you put that
Hovde's side.
together and I see what he's done overall, great for him.
Yeah, and I don't hate it from Kyle's side either here, acquiring Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard's much more solidified in his role with the
Yeah.
Panthers, so I understand wanting to make it just be a little more as a contender. He's a top 3 or 4 team in the league.
Yes.
So yeah.
Perfect. I just outlined exactly what I said would make it a good deal for both teams. That's awesome. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And if there was any concern about Rico Dowdle's effect on Hubbard's workload, I don't think there's anything to worry about there. That was
So
fun.
here's one where I did in Birdhouse 1. 2 trades back to back immediately. I actually had these both lined up to make sure that I was getting them. I acquired Mark Andrews and David Montgomery for Braylon Allen and David Njoku, basically. And I had to flip a third and a fourth. What do you think of that?
Top off
Now
with
that,
Andrews, that was with Charlie?
yeah.
Okay.
So now that Andrews had a second bad game, does that change your look on this, or are you still favoring the Monty side because Monty's better than Braylon Allen? What are you thinking there?
So basically you sold Njoku, Braylon Allen, a third to bring in a fourth, Andrews, Montgomery. And this is in the Birdhouse League.
Yeah, so I'm contending. The other guy is middle of the pack.
I like Montgomery over Braylon Allen
Yeah.
for contending, right? Don't mind the picks. Who cares? Third and fourth round. The Andrews and Njoku part's tough because Andrews has laid some eggs, and Njoku has been better than Andrews, but Fannon's taking
But he's got
100
Fannin.
targets, man. So I don't know, man. I mean, maybe you're getting out on you're just kind of flopping them out, so to speak.
Right. Yeah,
And
it was
get
a
Monty
situation
Montgomery
where
out
I
the
didn't
deal.
want to.
So
I didn't want to have to be counting on
Njoku and
Njoku.
Andrews are a wash. Okay, they're a
Yeah.
wash. So you kind of win with the Montgomery over Allen between the two deals.
Yeah.
That's how I look
And
at it.
that's how I looked at it. I just wanted to make sure I still had 3 decent tight ends, and that's why I went and acquired. If I had to give up Njoku, I wanted to make sure I was getting Andrews, even though Andrews hasn't
Right.
done anything. I know that eventually he'll fall into the end zone a few times and get into my lineup that way. Or I think so. I hope so, at least. But yeah, Montgomery, and he paid off last week. Not so well, but he did get in the end zone after having a terrible week 1.
Yeah.
So I think that Monty is he's still got a little bit left in the tank.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he's probably going to jump into your lineup a handful of times this year, and he'll probably end up being like the guy that pushes you over the edge in a matchup at some point.
Yeah.
So.
All right. We got
like
just
Wes
a couple
Welker to me.
more.
He's that dude that'll just like you've got the matchup won, but like Wes Welker will make one or wait, what was the other guy? Not Wes Welker. Who's the running
Julian
back
Edelman.
for the Chargers? Little white dude for the Chargers.
Oh, Danny Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead. Gah! That dude's always got the one play left to beat your fantasy team. God, I couldn't stand that guy.
All right, here's the first one of the week. We got a big one here. This one was interesting. I don't love it from Fossboss's side, but here you go. It has your boy
God,
Kenny
you kept
Walker in
fooling
it.
me. That's the crazy part.
It has 2 of your boys in here, Stroud and Walker.
I mean, I like what he gets piece-wise, but my goodness.
Yeah, it's just throwing away too much draft capital for me.
Yeah. Like Bryce, a first and a third. You take out a first and third, it's a good deal.
Right. Like, I think he gave up a first and third too much. Like,
Yeah,
Bryce Young and
take out
Stroud
the
right
first,
now,
second, third.
honestly, aren't that far apart. Now, Stroud, I think, has much more security in his job, okay? Because Stroud is, even though his fantasy production hasn't been great, like, he won the division last year. He's Houston's guy. He's not going anywhere.
Two-time
right?
division winner. Yep.
Right. He's not going anywhere. Bryce Young, on the other hand, though, he's got a long way to go before he's solidified in Carolina. Like, he's not he did produce last week, but it was all in garbage time.
Yep.
And he's not winning games, though. That's the thing. Like, is he the guy for Dave Canales' system? I think Canales has shown in what he was able to help Bryce Young do the second half of the last season that he can be a good quarterback coach. But is Bryce Young his guy? That's the problem. So I understand getting out on Bryce Young. I just don't know that I want to pay a first and a third on top of Stroud for it.
Yeah, whoever team 2 is in here, they got a haul. They got a haul. Because Kenneth Walker, I think you saw last week
He bounced back.
what Seattle had in mind. And yeah. So there's excitement there for Kenny Walker. I'm high on Stroud, but man, he gave up a lot. A lot. I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't have gave up that much. I'd have tapped out long before then. And those are 2 of my guys. And Kenny Walker's a flag plant guy for me. So, yep.
Yep. So there you have
Well,
it. Matt goes against the grain on his own guys. So that definitely means that you did not make a good deal.
Yeah.
So I hate telling people that, but that's what we're here for. We're trying to tell people to help them improve their teams and help the leagues be competitive across the board. That's what helps keep leagues going and make them exciting. Everybody has a has a fighting chance. Every league's going to have its contenders and rebuilders, so to speak. But we don't want any bottom feeders that are just completely stripped of their picks as well, because that really is what kills leagues, because it's hard to find guys to replace teams like that. And so that's what we're trying to do, is keep the health of your leagues going, honestly. So that's what we're here to help you with. Again, I'll mention the buymeacoffee.com/Birdhouse Dynasty Show, and we have the Patreon, patreon.com/Birdhouse Dynasty Show. That's where all those trades are from. That's where you'll find myself and Matt in, as well as a couple of other very knowledgeable guys who were involved in some of these deals as well. And we'll help you make some better deals down the road and help you contend and help you win. Yes. Matt, any final thoughts on some deals here? Because a lot of activity this week. What do you have?
Look,
quickly?
I think both of us get hit up all the time, showing us a deal that someone just did. What do you think? You know what? Send it to buy us a coffee, come join our Patreon, and then send it maybe, I don't know, 2 minutes before you push or smash accept or decline or counter.
Before you do,
then,
not after.
There's a couple of trades here. Yeah, do it before, not after. There's a couple of trades on here. Dudes just giving away draft capital when they don't have to. So, yeah, buy us a coffee. Let's talk about it over coffee.
Love it. All right, for Matt English, I'm Chris Lemke, otherwise regarded as the Birdman, whatever. But this is the Birdhouse, and we love helping you out here. And we want to remind you all to never stop working.
Work.